And this is our final section for this chapter and for the book, hopefully, for yours truly. And this final section is about environmental ethics. So, ethical theories useful for guiding human decisions that affect other humans, but this takes it one step further for our behavior upon the environment. So it's the application of normative ethics to the environment. And your book talks about three basic ideas, one being deep ecology, named after a Norwegian philosopher named Arne Nice. Deep ecology adds to this fight the elements of ecocentrism and sustainability and the intrinsic value of non-human nature. They believe that moral evaluations should rest on ecological principles with scientific insight and the interrelationship of all systems of life. They suggest that we should identify with the ecosphere and the plants and animals we're in. Such focus would encourage behavior that is consistent with and what he feels science is telling us about the well-being of life on Earth. And we have social ecology. This is combining ecology with socialism. Common view among people with these leanings is that the concentration of economic and political power and the homogenization of culture and the strengthening of social hierarchies are barriers to freedom and are the principal causes of the ongoing ecological crisis. So the more we become a socialistic society with socialistic principles, the better we will protect our environment. And we have ecofeminism. And this is the unethical domination of women is associated with the domination of nature. Ecofeminists see a common thread of immorality in the various levels of disrespect for women and the wilderness. So, treatment of women is a metaphor for treatment of the environment. Okay, final slide. Resolving ethical dilemmas. And one can use normative criteria to assist in decision making. And there are a number of examples here. Ethical egoism is the action good for me. Utilitarianism, does it bring the greatest good to the greatest number of people? Virtue, does the action reflect balance between vices? Kantianism, would I want everyone to do it? And so forth. Your book has a very nice story about dioxin, Times Beach and dioxin. I encourage you to read that. It was contaminated sludge with dioxin, and the company contracted with a private waste hauler to spray oil on unpaved streets to control the dust, and they hired the same contractor to dispose of sludge containing dioxin. Well, the contractor used the sludge to pave the road, and deposited contaminated soil into homes and yards, and made a mess of the whole thing. And so this was obviously, on several levels, a very unethical action to be done. Now, your book has three other, shall we say, more simplistic ways of looking at how you would want to view your decision. And that would be, would you want to see your decision or your name in a headline and associated with the action? Number two, how does this decision make you feel? How does it work well with your gut? Letting your conscience be your guide. And then finally, number three, what would my role model do? Whoever my role model would be, would they do the same action? And that's certainly another decision to keep in mind. And this, my friends, concludes my lectures on these chapters. I may update these through the semester or later on, but for right now, this finishes up all 16 chapters.